whether it is taking data points that I have and it's looking at them and saying, hey, we just compared it to what you did over here. There's a little bit difference in this number. Did you catch that? It's this crazy side of technology or some futuristic scientific movie they've seen where it comes in and it takes over the world and destroys everything. Think like Terminator. Hi, I'm Christy Barber. I'm a small and medium-sized business expert. I've been in the small and medium-sized business for about 15 years. So there's a lot of different ways when people look at SMBs and how do you define it. I look at SMBs as usually about 150 million and under. There's other people that cut it off around 100, some cut it off around 200. So it's still all over the place, but what I predominantly work with is 150 million and under. So my specialty with the SMB world is around technology and finance and how those two can be incorporated together to help streamline companies and help them be aware of all their costs. So when looking at technology and finance, I think a lot of times people think of them as separate things, but you can have them integrated together because if you don't have technology, you can't really understand what your numbers are doing. And if you just have numbers and you don't have the technology component of it, where's your data coming in versus you just hand entering it on an Excel spreadsheet, which is technology, or if you're a really old school model like it used to be, you're handwriting it on a piece of paper. So I think AI right now is a huge topic that appears everywhere. I was actually at a conference last week and spoke on a panel, and AI was one of the topics that came up a handful of times just around small business. How are we integrating it? How is it showing up? And how is it being utilized in the right ways? And I think it is a buzz topic right now as people are seeing it more normalized and coming into their industry, specifically in the finance world of how are we going to utilize this? And just like everything else that's in the past where technology comes in and everybody gets a little bit afraid, is it going to steal my job? Is it going to, what is it going to do? I think there's ways to be able to look at it and see there's very positive things that AI can do in the finance industry, but then there's also things to be aware of. And I think that's what people are learning right now and how that can come in and automate some of the minor tasks of just data entry and put in some of those automations that would save and free up time from different people on an accounting team. When looking at AI for SMBs, I think there's two sides of how people view it. One being it's this crazy side of technology or some futuristic scientific movie they've seen where it comes in and it takes over the world and destroys everything. Think like Terminator, and it's, laser beams are coming out of places. I don't know, but I think there's some things in that where there's a scariness of, hey, it's going to take over everything and I as a human won't have any input into what the technology is trying to do. And then you look at the other side of people that are gaining knowledge of it and they're reading articles, they're being trained on different software out there, and they're starting to understand really this tool is just helping me do my day-to-day work. Whether it is taking data points that I have and it's looking at them and saying, hey, we just compared it to what you did over here. There's a little bit difference in this number. Did you catch that? Oh, no, I didn't. Let me go back and look at that. So it's helping audit. It's helping bring in various data points from an invoice and creating it for you. And you're not having to, there's so many ways out there that it helps. And I think having that at the forefront of your mind and not letting technology scare you when you're in the small business world can really pay dividends on the backside that will help you stay ahead of your competitors, because so many people, like I mentioned, are afraid of the technology, and we want to make sure that you're staying above it and you're not letting it take you out. So Salesforce put out a report just a while ago, and it surveyed a handful of IT, and they came back saying that 95% of these IT professionals feels confident in generative AI. So generative AI is good for a lot of things. You can help you write some emails. It can help you brainstorm ideas. But there are a lot of security risks with it because it is a very open source, and you don't want to drop your financial statements in there and have it look through them and tell you what's good or bad. And that's where when you're looking at more of AI software that is specific to what you're doing, that helps eliminate a lot of those security risks that are involved with it. Where on the other side here, going back to the Gen AI, you're looking at just ways that it may not know exactly what you're doing because it's not made specifically for your industry. It going back to, it just helps you with minor things, but as you're using it and getting more familiar with just the AI world and asking it questions and it's computing and looking at various resources out there, it should help you as an SMB get more familiar and be, I guess, more confident in the results that it's pushing. And then when you start moving towards and evaluating AI for your company specifically, whether that's forecasting, whether it's with accounting, etc., then you should already have some, you should have some confidence in what it's going to be giving you.